EP Deputy Smith, and you're sharing with Deputy Murphy.
Margaret Cahirlock. I want to start by saluting and celebrating the campaigners in the Gay and Lesbian Equality Network, and Senator Norris, who's here, and others who took the stand when they did and how they did. The reality is that such reforms weren't won by the great and good of the political elite. Often the political elite and the establishment stood in the teeth of opposition to prevent progress for LGBT plus people. They showed apathy or indifference, or sometimes derision and hostility towards the demands for homosexual law reform. But I want to move on quickly to say that I don't think we're here celebrating what a great little country it is to be gay or transgender. The battle for these rights hasn't ended, and it can't end. From a report that was written last year, some 56% of LGBT plus teens aged 14 to 18 said they had self-harmed, while 70% of this age group had seriously thought of ending their own lives. The report finds schools continue to be a very difficult place for many young LGBT plus people. Only 1 in 5 believe they belong completely in their school, while less than half feel they have received positive affirmation in this society of their identity. The report also shows that LGBT plus people continue to experience victimisation and harassment in their day-to-day lives. 3/4 have been verbally abused, and almost 1/3 report abuse within the past year. Only 1 in 3 felt safe showing affection or holding hands with a partner in public. Some 15% said they would never do that. 1 in 3 have been their sexual identity, had things written about them on social media. So this can't be a great little country for the LGBT plus community when the sex education in our schools is overwhelmingly one ethos-based, and when the same great liberals of Fine Gael, etc., have put a block on a bill that would ensure that we get fact-based, non-ethos sex education. Where we get sex education when young people hear that it is perfectly normal to be gay, to be attracted to a member of the same sex, we will go a long way to heading off the psychological damage that is done to young people in the current system, in the current society, often based on church denomination and domination of our schools, which includes imbuing them a sense that they are less than normal. It can't be a great little country, Minister and Taoiseach, for people in the LGBT community when we are still dragging our feet on the enactment of the Children and Family Relationships Act of 2015, and where we don't give the same rights to heterosexual couples in relation to their children. It was supposed to be enacted last year, and I'm looking over at Minister Sapone there. I think that within a year of the marriage equality referendum being passed, we were meant to have it, so that we do have today women like Fiona Armstrong-Astley, whose partner is unable to register as a parent to the children because we haven't enacted the legislation, and who therefore can't get a passport for the children without effectively denying them joint parentage. So before we congratulate ourselves on how modern and wonderful we are, let's remember those who can't afford, for example, to get the PrEP drug, which prevents AIDS, over the internet, who can't access mental health services when they need them, and maybe their struggle with their sexuality in faith-based schools, where being gay or bisexual or transgender is seen less than normal, or where they can't even register the birth of their children to get a passport because of our failure to enact the legislation that's required. So while celebrating and saluting those who have struggled down through the decades in very, very difficult circumstances and against the odds, I think we need to celebrate with a certain note of caution and anticipation of more change that needs to come.
Thank you, Deputy Smith. Deputy Murphy.